Hi everybody, it's Kim here, working on card number 10 of the Classically Modern cards. This card is gorgeous. Now, this is the With Sympathy card. Now, I'm going to keep the With Sympathy off the card and possibly use it, but for this card, you know, the way I've put it together, I'm going to use it as more like a fall card. And you'll see here in a minute, fall is coming around the corner. I'm so excited. Couple things about this card. It's different. I've looked through the Cricut Design Space images and it definitely does not have that available. And I'm going to go on to my computer here in a minute and show you guys. So I went ahead and cut out this circle with my 1 1/4 inch EK Success punch. As I'm putting the card together, I'll explain more about that too. So what we have here is we have a brown I used Basil cardstock and I cut out the base of the card. That's this here. And make sure you put your score pen in your Cricut Explorer, your Cricut Explorer Air, or even your Expression, because it will score the middle line for you to fold it. I have the middle of this, which is gold. So I have brown and gold. I'm going to do that there. Like I said, I have the green circle, so I'm going to place that right behind there. Then I have the With Sympathy, which I'm not going to put that on right now. I don't think I'm going to need the card as a sympathy card. Then I kind of tricked the Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to show you that again on the computer, but I did some green leaves. There's one screen that cuts out this, and I wanted them to be different colors, so I did some hiding. So there's my green leaves. Then I did the envelope, which is this right here, and the insert, which I'm such a derp. I cut the insert out twice. It's okay. It's early and I haven't quite finished my first cup of coffee. So, all right, so I'm going to pause here and get you set up over at the computer and show you the different things that I did that I was able to make this card the way I wanted to. Okay, we'll be right back. All right, let me turn off this one lamp here. So here we are in the Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to insert images, then go to cartridges, and type in Classically Modern. And there it is. Click on View All 35. And I am actually doing this one down here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that and say Insert Images. I'm going to make this height of a 7.0, and you know, I played around with this quite a bit because when I did a 5.5, which is how tall I wanted the card was coming up only just about 4 inches. So eventually I ended up doing a 7.0, and just to make sure that my card was going to be the right size, what I did is I lined it the very top up with that grid line there, and I counted the squares, which are 1 inch each. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's just about a half there. So I usually do the height at 5.5, like I said, but this one is a 7.0. All right, so I'm going to go onto the cutting mat, and I'm going to show you something here for a second. The very first one is the insert of the envelope and the leaves. Now, I wanted just the leaves green. Cricut always gives you a colored mat, which is their suggestion on what color, to make it so that the card or design or whatever it is like the picture that they give you. So all I want is the green leaves. I don't want a green insert. So for right now, I'm going to click off the cut, and I'm going to go over to layers, and I'm going to close out the liner, which is the very bottom one, so that when I go onto that next cutting mat, as you see, it's just the leaves. So I just want to show you that little trick on what I did there. And another thing I wanted to mention as well, let's go back onto the virtual mat. I'm just going to open up that eye so that everything's there, is as you go through the mats, I'm going to click on Go. You have that one there, You have that one as the envelope. That's the base of the card. That is the backing of the card with the with sympathy sentiment, and then that is the with sympathy sentiment. There is no circle on here, as I mentioned at the previous part of this video. So if you're using a cartridge, it's there. If you're using Cricut Design Space, it is not. Now you can also just create your own circle on the Cricut Design Space. So I would just do insert circle and 1 1/4, 1 inch. That's fine. So you would want to edit and bring that down to I don't know, 1 inch, and then that would be your circle for that. Now that looks like it might have to be a little bit more than 1 inch, and then it would just cut, you know, on your virtual mat. 1 1/2 is too big. That would be okay. You can play with it. 1.25. Let's go with 1.25. Yeah, that would work. I'm just putting it over at the top just to kind of give you an idea of the size of it. All right, so let's go back to the craft mat and put the card together. Okay, so now that you had that explanation, let's put our card together. Here's our card base. My Explorer went ahead and did my score line, so I'm going to line that up. And get my bone folder here and push that down. Then I'm going to put my green on here. And I'm going to put it directly on the card, or on the card base, because I'm going to be putting the yellow color behind here in a minute. The gold and the white paper that I'm using, it came from Walmart. And at our Walmart, they have 180 pages. It's a big stack of papers that have all these different colors. And so I went for it, because Lord knows the thousands of sheets of paper that I have are not enough. Actually, I do use a lot of the smooth, you know, the non-textured paper for my cards. So I run out of that. I actually do run out of that. Isn't that crazy? But it's not very expensive at Walmart. I don't know how much it is, but I like the smoothness of it, and the fact that you get a huge stack of it, of all different colors. Alright, so let's put this, oops, make sure I didn't get any glue on there. Actually put it the wrong way. There's a right way and a wrong way. Alright, so there it goes. So far it's beautiful, right? Okay, so looking at my picture, now I want to put my leaves on. And they're going to go right there and right there. Like I said, I'm kind of not using the actual sentiment that comes with this card. Making sure that I'm putting this on correctly. But I'll save it, because hopefully nothing will come up that I need to use a with sympathy sentiment. I'm having a hard time talking this morning. Can't quite get that sentiment word out. And then that's going to go right there. And, you know, if you were going to use it, I'll lay it down here. That would go right here. And I'll put this together off camera, but that would be like that. So put that aside. And let's go ahead and put our envelope and our insert in. This is the reason why I went ahead and hid the lining, because I wanted the lining to be gold and then the leaves to be green. I'm gonna go this way, and I flipped it because the score lines that the Explorer made are going to go in like this. Get that lined up, and lined up at the bottom as well. So at 7.0, this card does measure just slightly over 5.5 and right at 4.25. Okay, looking for my score tape. Oh, here it is. I like to use my score tape on the envelopes instead of the glue, because sometimes if the weather is funky, like, you know, humid, like it has been here in California, or in other parts of the country, if you use glue, it stays wet, so your card could, you know, pop open if you're trying to mail it. Weather has been so strange. It's kind of creeping me out, actually. Am I off camera? There we go. All right. So what I think I'm going to do as well, since my card base is brown, is I can go back and I can cut out this layer in white, which I'm probably going to end up doing. And then I can, you know, write in it. Or if I wanted to use a white gel pen, that's fine. But, you know, before I put that in there, there's my score line there. You can use a colored envelope if you wanted to do it in gold. That's fine. With the green flower. Doesn't really matter. And there it is. Gorgeous, right? Absolutely love this cartridge. Thanks all so much for joining me. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you.